Hello, welcome to another edition of Live. It's sorry for the delay. We will try to be as close to 9 o'clock as we can going forward. I've got a couple of quick guests today, and as you know, the weather in New South Wales as a whole has been absolutely atrocious. It's been really tricky conditions. We're very lucky at Warwick Farm. We've been able to continue. We had a lot of rain, particularly overnight and yesterday. So it's been a battle, but Warwick Farm, believe it or not, actually copes pretty well with the rain, and I think in terms of Randwick tomorrow, we will be okay. The weather looks good for the weekend, and actually now it just seems to be buttoning off a little bit, the rain, so that's very encouraging. Of course, the main risk when you have race days is rain on the day. And thankfully the weather looks pretty good for the weekend, so that's good. Of course, it was a good day last Saturday. A little bit hit and miss, I must say. Cabalas was huge. He was a dominant winner. He ran a really good time, and of course it was Lobby's top tip. Should we get straight into Lobby's top tip? I'll give you Lobby's top tip. Lobby's top tip this week is Hollywood Hero, and Lobby, he's a man that doesn't lack confidence, but he's particularly confident after last week. So he's confident he can get through a wet track. No doubt it's going to be extremely wet. And yeah, we've been pretty lucky, I guess. I do feel very sorry for the trainers up around Taree. Yeah, it's a big battle there. If I happen to win a race tomorrow at Randwick, I will donate all that money to the trainers up there. So it's something anyway. Not going to help much, but either way, I'll be trying to help out if I can. Tony Ball, in particular, I know him pretty well from up that way. He's a good guy. So hopefully it works out okay for them. Right, but Cabalas was super. Unfortunately, after winning, he seemed to recover pretty well, but he had a very slight bleed. Fortunately, a slight bleed is a major, so he's out for 2 months. And can't race for 3 months, but that still allows us to get him back for the latter part of the spring, so it's not all lost. He's obviously a top class horse. We've always thought a lot of him, so I think the best is still to come. Kiss the Bride was very, very good first up. He's a lovely Savabeel gelding. He hasn't been straightforward, but he's starting to really put it together. I think once he gets over 1400, beyond a mile in time, you're going to see a pretty good horse. Winner of Kowloon was very good. She was coming off city form, so we expected her to be competitive, and she had fitness on her side in a demanding track, so it worked out pretty well. And the Cuesta was very good too. So obviously it was a really wet track up at Doomben. Overpass, it was just too wet for him, unfortunately, the way the race played. And he's gone for a well-deserved break. Even though he didn't win this preparation, he was still a great second in the TJ Smith, so still cemented his place as one of the best sprinters. But I think if the track's soft, he's okay. I think if anything, it probably played a little bit worse than that. Allegron, he looked to be travelling beautifully. I thought he was a big chance, and he just didn't quite finish off, so that was disappointing. And Namastar I thought went pretty well. He's come straight back home. We'll probably look for a 1250 maiden or even 1400 for him. I think he's going well, and I think he's a good horse going forward. So we've got a couple of live requests. Here we go live. Here he is, Luke Hilton.
Hey, Bjorn.
Luke, have I got you?
Yeah, have you got me?
I can't see you.
Can you see me?
Except,
Yeah, I'm here. I can see you.
how was it this morning? It was
Wet and
maybe just
very...
cut out and try and come back in again if you can.
All right, I'll try.
Modern day technology. Not really winning here. We'll try again. Here he is, Luke Hilton, mate. Geez, it was a tough morning out there this morning. Didn't we do it
Rain,
tough?
hail, or rain, hail, or shine, the Toyota forklifts, they just keep going.
Oh, look.
Reliable as.
Yeah, well, look at that. I'll tell you, that's what you need on a tough morning. I tell you what, Luke, I thought you were 5 minutes late this morning
What for? The
for the
life.
track.
Well, it was very, very wet, torrential rain here, cyclonic conditions.
Do you think if the boss was ever going to pick a good morning to have off, he picked the right one?
Definitely picked the right one. By the time I got to the tower this morning, we were drenched. Shorts had nearly gone see-through. Yeah, it wasn't a good day. But
Yeah,
big homage to the staff and the riders who had to continue to push through the whole morning. So, yeah, big effort from everyone.
yeah, it is, and yeah, it's not great conditions. It wasn't necessarily cold, but just miserable, and particularly when you're riding, it's not much fun. So, yeah, big shout out to the team. Right, Luke, what have you got to show us?
Saturday runners straight off the bat. Here you go.
Oh,
Car.
outside gate, good or bad? Last race, Ramwick and a heavy 20. What do you think?
Yes, he hasn't been able to draw a gate all preparation, unfortunately. So nothing's changed for Saturday. Makes it a little bit tricky from there, but it'll just all depend on how the track's playing. There looks to be good speed in the race, so we'll see where she's going to end up. I think she's bursting to win a race. Just needs a bit of luck now.
Yeah, I think she's going really well. I think she gets into this race with a good weight. And I actually think the wide gate will be very advantageous come the last race. Even though the 1400, you sort of straight away into a corner. But I think she's going well. She's third up. If anything, she may be looking for a touch further, but I think it's going to play like that tomorrow. I think she's a really good chance in the last race. Of course, a race that we have a bit of luck in from time to time, Luke.
Yeah, it'll be very demanding, that track. Like you said, she may be wanting for further, but it's going to play like that tomorrow for sure.
Right. What's the first runner tomorrow, Luke? Hollywood Hero, is it?
Winning, winning proposal.
Yeah, and she was very good first up on a demanding track at Gosford. Second up the 1,000 metres. She just didn't quite execute the start as well as I would have liked last time, Luke. She's had that run under her belt. Hopefully she'll be a bit better for that. How do you see it?
Yeah, she did an amazing job to get as close as what she did after blundering the start. It was a little bit hard to make up ground as well at Gosford. So she gets a good gate tomorrow, good speed in the race 1,000 again. She's got good form on wet tracks, so it's going to be very heavy there tomorrow. But if she can handle it, she's going to be right in the finish.
Yeah, I think she's a good chance. And I think a few of these races tomorrow, as well as going in with horses, I guess overall, we haven't got as many horses that handle a wet track as in some ways you'd like, but I think the four we've got on tomorrow at Ramwick can all get through it okay, and they've all got a little bit of fitness on their side. So next up.
Hollywood Hero.
Yeah, and he was very good first up. He's won up to a mile. He gets in with no weight. He's sort of a natural horse that always tends to run pretty well, generally earlier in his preparation as well. So he should be able to put himself where he's comfortable. I think he goes in a good chance. I'd probably love him to have one more run under his belt, Luke.
Yeah, he's got really good second up stats, and I think the mile's going to suit. He ran a slashing fourth in the coast last year on a very, very heavy track. So if he brings that kind of form to this race, he'll be right in the finish, and he's down in the weights with Dylan Gibbons on.
Yeah, I think he's a good chance, and I think he's going well. So actually 25% of him is available on English Digital this week too. So if he runs well or looks like he's run well, keep an eye on that. I think there's definitely more wins in him. And then we get to the last one, Luke.
Here he is, Thunderlips.
He's my tip.
Yeah,
Loves a wet track, loves Ranwick, will be able to roll forward, gets 2 kilos off with Anna Roper. I think he's in great order. He looks as good as ever.
Yeah, this is his time to shine this time of year. He loves wet tracks. He was fantastic winning last start, and if he brings that form again and holds that, he's going to be right in it. He's got a good gate. be interesting to see how the track's going to play late in the day, but he puts himself right on speed and he's tough.
Yeah, I think he's going really well. He's going to be third up, but he's had a trial in between runs. I think he's primed, and I think he goes. He's going very, very well. I guess looking forward, Luke, at the moment, we're sort of in a bit of a holding pattern. A lot of the horses this week we're going to trial or have a jump out. They're all put back to next week, and we're going to sort of hope to get a few of them underway, in particular a horse like Robusto. We've got Swordplay possibly next Wednesday. She's a very promising filly. Luke, we've got a couple of country runners Sunday, Monday.
Yeah, so we've got Tigletta, My Sharina, both in at Nowra and Bathurst. I don't think Nowra's going to go ahead. Just this time of year, it's hard, so we're going to have a couple of options. Bathurst looks, a chance that they'll run on Monday. So My Sharina's trialled well. She's first up, first start in a race, so she's going to improve on what she does. Tigletta's been bursting to win one. She's been very honest. And Sapphire Rose is also in at Bathurst, but if it's a rain affected track, she probably won't go.
And that's right. So we're just going to keep an eye. You've got to have a little bit of an open mind. You've got to be very flexible. And when it's very wet like this, I think it's as important as ever to be patient. We don't want to rush horses on whether it's a very, very demanding track, firstly, or secondly, put them on tracks that aren't suitable. Well, you've got polytrack trials and so forth. They have their place, but at the moment, we can afford to be patient. Couple of questions. How is Fleet Commander going? He's going really well. His last trial was good. He was actually in on Wednesday, but we scratched him. He's in on Wednesday again, Luke?
He's nominated again for this week. This is 72-15-50. It's just probably a really testing track here at Warwick Farm as to whether he goes round, but it'll all depend on what the tracks do between now and then. He's going well. He's going to have a few runs to get to his peak distance, but he's been in good order.
Yeah, we've got a quick...
Ashish, do you do afternoons, do you? I do. I don't usually see you here.
Who's his tip for the weekend, Ashish?
Ashish, who's your tip? Thunderlips.
Oh, he's a good judge, my man, Ashish. We've got a question here from Scotty G. How many 2-year-olds are coming through your stable this spring? And as in spring yearlings now, 2-year-olds. So we've probably got just over 50, a good amount, Scotty, but you want to give them all justice and make sure you haven't got too many. Of course, the best. So we've had a very good year with our 2-year-olds, number of winners, and particularly Olay. She'll go back into pre-training in a few weeks. Of course, we saw her last week. And within the law, too, excited to get her back for Derby. And one more question, how's Gem Tycoon going? He looks pretty good, Luke.
Yeah, he's been good since he came back. He's all of himself, and he's been fitted back in the environment well. So we'll step him up over the next few weeks, but he's come back in good order.
Right, that's brilliant. Now, Jim Clark's supposed to be coming on, so we're axing Luke and going to Jim.
Oh, no problem. Thanks, guys. Good luck over the weekend.
Jim, hurry up, mate. Come on. See you, Luke. Away you go. Mark Pisani joined. Of course, we haven't touched on the Queensland runners, which are the 2 stakes runners. So Dame Commander, she's got a really good gate. The Roses is a very, very tough race. But she should be able to put herself right there. She was good last time against the older horses. She gets back to 3-year-old fillies grade. That's our big hope. I think she can put herself there. I think she's a definite each-way chance. Must say it's a tough race with big fields, as are all the races in Queensland. Funny, we're going to have a heavy track here, and we're going to have a good track in Queensland. So we seem to be doing the opposite. And I know a star. Well, he's one of my favourites. He's got a win strike rate that is unparalleled. I think he's won 10 from 24. He puts himself right there. He's got a gun gate. If he can nail the start from 1, he's going to be a big chance on Saturday. But probably better going into his preparation. Of course, we'd love to hit the Stradbroke second up, 3 weeks between runs, but he's trialled very, very well. It's a tough race, so there's plenty of depth. So there's nowhere to hide in some of these races at the moment. In some ways, Saturday's going to be as tough as any race you'll find. So that's always a little bit of a trick. And He's got to go on an each-way chance. I'd love him to be right there. If he could run well, no doubt he is going to be a chance in the Stradbroke. And we go from wet, miserable Warwick Farm to Jim Clark. Beautiful sunshine. Look at that. Mate, you look like you're a true cowboy from Chinchilla. You know what a cow is?
You need a big hat when you're in this sunny weather in Queensland, mate.
Yeah, right. We were just talking about two of your purchases. Dame Commander, how do you see it?
Yeah, she's a progressive filly. It was a good win the other day. I still think she's learning her trade a bit, but she's drawn a good gate and what will hopefully be a pretty good track. And she certainly looks like stepping up in trip will be right up her alley. So she's probably a fresher horse than a lot of these fillies that have come up from South Australia. And hopefully she's the one on the way up.
Yeah, well, Jim's father's in it, so's mine. So it means a lot more to
Yeah. There's added
to
pressure for sure.
to
I thought Murray might make the flight over to watch her.
Yeah, no, he's big on Sydney and Melbourne, anything but Brisbane. No, I love it up there, though. Love it. I know a star, another horse. It's been a bit of a revelation. Of course, he won the Five Diamonds Prelude, Gate 1, Jim.
Yeah, he's. I think he's in for an exciting prep. He's very tough, very honest, very consistent. His trials have been very good, so hopefully he can be very competitive tomorrow on his way, hopefully to a start in the Stradbroke.
Now, tell us what's happening this weekend up there. This
Well,
weekend, next week, what do we got? Sum it up
I'm at,
in
I'm
a
at the
minute.
national sale here at Magic Millions. It's a marathon. It goes for about 2 weeks. We've got foal sale starting on Sunday. And that rolls straight into the broodmares for a couple of days as fillies off the track, and then the pregnant broodmares the day after that, and then we've got yearling sales. So plenty happening. Georgia is with me here.
GG, what's the bet? That's people
Do
won't
you like my
watch
hat?
what's
Do you like my hat?
oh, Stevie Magnetica, fantastic. She's going back into work on Monday. Exciting. What's the tip for the weekend, Georgia?
Oh, because I had a winning one last weekend. I know a star.
Whoa, that's good. All right, that's the race we want to win. Okay, Jim. So how's
No,
this
so
sale relate?
we're on the lookout. We're seeing if we can find a weanling that we can buy and put into the racing team. We've bought one the last couple of years, so we've actually picked two out. I think George has fallen in love with both of them. It's going to come down to how much they cost. But hopefully we can find something for a bit of value here in the next few days. Then the race fillies is going to be quite exciting. There's a number of stable representatives in there. Infatuation. Of course, she's a very well related, very fast and early Vinny filly, so I'm sure she'll be very popular. Little Bayer. Obviously, that Group 3 win certainly added to her value. And of course, Belclair, who went through this sale last year. She was not sold. I think she had a reserve of roughly 700,000. I think she's won well over $1 million in the last 12 months under Bjorn's care. So she's going through the ring. I'm sure she'll be very popular, and hopefully, with any luck, we might be able to find a race filly, something 3-4 years old, that we can put back into Bjorn's stable for a season or two. Um,
And try
so
and win another $1 million.
and try and win another $1 million. So yeah, so we're looking at several different angles here for the next 10 days, and keep an eye on socials and the website and the emails if we happen to strike.
And Jim, just tell us quickly. You bought one privately during the week that I'm particularly looking forward to getting into the stable.
Yeah, so I was invited out to Eureka Stud, the McAlpine's property here in Queensland the other day. I'm out there from time to time. Harry McAlpine phoned me up and said that he's got a full sister to She's Ideal that Eureka were planning to sort of retain a significant share of, and he thought that she might be ideally suited to Bjorn. So I went out and had a look at her. She's a lovely filly. She's a done deal. Of course, She's Ideal was a very, very good mare for Bjorn. She's got a lovely back pedigree. She's a big, strong, scopy filly. Definitely more a 3-year-old. Going to get over a bit of ground. But I think she was at a valuation of 100 grand. I think she's a great buy, and yeah, looking forward to getting her broken into the system.
Yeah, so if you're interested at all, I think she's good value. Dundeal's had a breakout year, and of course, She's Ideal was one of his first really good mares. She was unlucky not to. She was second in the Tancred. She was second in the Wink Stakes over 1400, another Group 1, and she was second in another Group 1, wasn't she? Anyway, she's a super mare. She won well over $1 million, and I think this filly seems to be pretty good value. Of course, she's Bob's, yeah, I'm excited to get her in. So if you're interested, please contact Georgia at bakerracing.com.au. Georgia Griffin, who of course is tipping I Know a Star. Jim, anything to add? You're racing tomorrow?
Racing tomorrow. I think Georgia and I are manning the ford in Brisbane, while yourself and Luca in Sydney.
What was
Hopefully,
the last time we manned the fort up in
yeah,
Queensland?
the last time Georgia and I were in charge in
Oh, here we go.
Queensland, we won a Brisbane Cup and a Stradbroke from memory.
That's all right.
Steffi. So yes, we'll be in Queensland. Bjorn and Luke in Sydney. Rachel's coming up to do the riding. It's going to be a good day. I think the track's going to be good. It'll be very fair. And for what it's worth, not that I'm ever asked, my tip at odds is Dame Commander.
Right, there you go. Well, good luck. Thanks, Jim, for joining us. Thanks, Luke. Thanks to all the team, and let's hope we can win a race at Randwick to help out the trainers up the central north coast. Take care, folks. Have a great weekend. Hopefully we can have some of it. Next week I'll be back at 9 a.m.